Gary Neville and Jamie Carragher, they've sort of got this aura about them that they're technically brilliant and they know everything technically, how great they are. Let's look at it. Let's look at it properly from Gary Neville's point of view. Okay, they managed to get into Sky sort of sport and football in the earliest years, and you know, it's just like anything. You know, you get the goalkeeper shirt, you become incumbent in that shirt. It's very hard for somebody to get you off. You know, you become the England centre forward, very hard to get anybody to come in you and get you out. You become a captain, very hard to somebody. You get the picture. They've got in there and they've built up this sort of aura that they are brilliant tacticians, and they have everything behind them, you know, the TV, the technology, etc., to help them. But let's look at it. Let's look at it a little bit more down to earth. Gary Neville himself, he struggled to understand what was going on from the dugout. He struggled, this is what Gary Neville is saying, to manage to watch a game from pitch level compared from the gantry. He recalls having no idea what was going on when he was managing Valencia, because he was down the dugout. It was different. You see things differently. So all along, you know, he is admitting that he couldn't assess tactically what was going on from a dugout. Yet he's one of the first, and Carragher are the first, to talk about how inept and how inadequate other managers and footballers are in their tactics. So he's admitted that he couldn't do that from pitch level. Okay, he felt he was massively inferior to other managers in the Spanish league. Against Atletico Madrid, he says the incumbent manager there, and Ernesto Valverde, when they played them more than once, chose system that he wasn't expecting to play and then changed it during the game. And it actually flummoxed him. He didn't know what to do. He realised that he was nowhere near that level, okay, of tactically understanding. He managed Valencia for 4 months, won 3 games out of 16, lost 11 out of 28. Yet Gary Neville says he was targeted by the Spanish press, and the reasons he thinks he was targeted, okay, because their questions, compared to the ones that he gets or that we give our managers over here, were more detailed, more tactical, more pointed, and more specific. Does that not mean their press are better and journalists were better at asking questions? Maybe. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that's what he says. Okay. If you didn't answer, if you didn't give the right answer, they would follow it up. Well, isn't that right? Don't you? If you're giving the wrong answer, you're saying if I didn't give the right answer, they would follow up. Well, you just said you didn't give the right answer. If I didn't give the right answer, well, of course, you know, it's their right to follow up if you're not giving the right answer. He felt he was being questioned on his understanding and tactical knowledge of the game. Well, you've just said up here you felt inferior to other managers, okay, in the Spanish league. You said you had no idea what was going on from pitch side. So, you know, of course they're going to sort of question you on your understanding of tactical knowledge, Mr. Neville. So what I don't quite understand, why do you think you were targeted by the Spanish press when you yourself are saying you're not, you know, you weren't up to the job? I just don't understand it. And that is why, you know, we've put Gary Neville and Carragher on this sort of parapet of they understand the game better than anyone else. I'm not sure they do, really. What they have is every benefit of looking at a game after it's been played, and they can cut it to pieces, as all the other pundits can, okay? But let's be quite frank, they are in the position of the best power. They've got Sky TV behind them. They show more games than everybody else. They've been there for longer than everyone else, and they now have, you know, power and control there. They do. Everyone's scared of losing them because they think they've got these two guys that are brilliant. Well, actually, I don't. Gary Neville himself, as he didn't have any idea what was going on. How can he criticise managers and tacticians and the players for making mistakes when he didn't have a clue himself? It's so easy to criticise after the event and from above. I don't like Joey Barton, but you know what? He's right when he said, Gary Neville, had maybe one of the greatest managers ever managing his game for him. He's right. And you look at Gary Neville and the team that he's bought, and he obviously has a lot of investment there himself. They've not done very well, have they, with lots of investment compared to other teams and a lot of input from Gary Neville himself. So I just wonder, we've put him and Carragher on this sort of pedestal, guys. I think look at it properly, and maybe, they're not that great. They've just got everything, all the technical knowledge behind them to help. I just wonder if other pundits can do as good a job, if not better, except they haven't got Carragher's. He has got a bit of a charisma. Don't like him. He does laugh and joke, and I don't think he's very professional. Gary Neville's lost it a little bit. I really do. They're both biased. It would be nice to have somebody not so biased. But guys, I think we should stop thinking Neville and Carragher are the be-all and end-all of everything. They're not. And Gary Neville actually himself is basically saying that. Give him credit for his honesty, but they're not that great, guys. There are other footballers who are better, have a better understanding of the game than those two. Neville said he'd never go back to management. Why? Because he knows he'd foul. He knows he's not good enough, yet he's there being able to criticise all the time. And Jamie Carragher, he's never tried it. And I think he's scared of it. They're my thoughts of the day. Reno talking. Cheers, guys.